12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning, the government is officially shut down and hundreds of thousands of federal workers are caught in the crossfire. Which services could survive and who could potentially lose their jobs for good?
A live pipe bomb was found at a Northwest Side apartment complex, and many questions still remain this morning. For example, who put it there and why?
All right, we'll get to all that here in just a little bit, but so much to get to on this Wednesday morning, the first day of October.
That's right, October the 1st, again, our Halloween month. So let's get on over to meteorologist Justin Horn. The temperatures aren't too scary, though, yet.
No, not at all. In fact, it does not feel at all like October. And coming up in a little bit, we'll take a look at the climatology of October, which usually does bring some cooler weather. It's just not in the forecast yet. Let's go outside for you. It's another really nice morning. I mean, we're already at 67, so in theory, we should be able to drop a few more degrees here. So we'll start off in the mid-60s. It's already 65 in New Braunfels, 66 in Converse, 59 right now in Bernie. And we've got light winds, so all in all, it's a very comfortable morning. Forecast calls for 74 at 9 a.m. By noontime, 87, and then a high temperature right around 94 with mostly sunny skies today. Yes, it does get quite warm. And speaking of average temperatures, now that we are getting into October, we are on the downslide, so you would think that we would start to get some cooler weather. Again, it's not in the forecast yet, but maybe there's some hints of it later down the line. We'll talk more about our forecast and again look at some of that October climatology for you here in just a couple minutes, guys.
All right, well, it is official. If you're just now waking up, the government shutdown has begun. And right now, as you can see, we're about 6 hours into it.
Yeah, President Donald Trump and Congress failed to strike an agreement to keep the government programs and services running by Wednesday's deadline. But our Patty Santos is here with us this morning to break it all down with what this means for you. Good morning, Patty.
Hey there, good morning, guys. So roughly 750,000 federal workers are expected to be put on temporary leave, and many offices will be closed. Now, there's about 38,000 of federal workers that are here in the San Antonio, New Braunfels area. Some temporary parts of the Affordable Care Act, especially the money that lowers monthly insurance payments for millions, is about to run out. People who buy ACA plans will likely pay higher premiums, and some insurance could change or leave markets, causing prices to rise across the country. Now, Republicans are waiting for direction from President Trump, so talks are stalled right now. Now, even if the government partially shuts down, some programs will keep running, like Medicare and Medicaid, air traffic control, and federal student aid, but new grants will not be issued, and some payments could be delayed at national parks, though it's still unclear what will happen. Now, one of the biggest employers in San Antonio, USAA, says it's ready to step in and help members who may miss a paycheck. The San Antonio-based financial giant will offer no-interest loans equal to one net paycheck, up to $6,000 for eligible federal workers. USAA says it will let members know when applications are available, which can be done online through the app or by phone. Now, Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro posted about the shutdown on X, saying, quote, Republicans control the House, Senate, and White House. They have only themselves to blame for a shutdown. Now, they need to negotiate with House Democrats to pass a budget, stop a shutdown, and protect health care for American families. And listen to what Texas Senator John Cornyn said, quote, this shutdown has nothing to do with health care. It's all about Leader Schumer's progressive base. Now, by the way, during President Trump's first term back in 2018, the nation endured its longest ever shutdown, 35 days. Now, if you are waiting for important mail, by the way, the U.S. postal workers will not be affected by this shutdown. Ernie?
All right, Patty, thank you for that. Meanwhile, questions remain this morning after a live pipe bomb was found Tuesday afternoon at a Northwest Side apartment complex. It happened off I-10 near Huebner Road. San Antonio police say a maintenance worker found the suspicious device in a grassy area at the complex. The bomb squad was able to safely dispose of the device after it was determined to be live, and nobody was hurt. Right now, we don't know how the device got into that complex. This morning, police have not arrested anyone.
All right, this morning, Bexar County Sheriff's investigators are hoping someone's cell phone video can help solve them a weekend murder of a 17-year-old girl. A deputy say that Eliana Huerta was shot and killed while leaving a house party off of Lucky Road early Sunday. The party, spread across an abandoned home lot, drew dozens of high school students and young adults. Well, investigators found empty beer bottles and glow sticks scattered throughout the area.
We don't know if she was actually involved in the fight. We do know that she was in the vicinity.
Now, detectives believe that the suspect drove off in a dark-colored pickup truck. They say that with so many teens at the party, someone likely recorded video, and they're urging anyone who has it to come forward.
This morning, a woman wants to honor her sister who was killed after someone opened fire at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino in Eagle Pass.
Can you tell us about your sister? What type of person was she?
Happy, helpful, would do anything for anyone. Loved her kids to death. Loved all of her family unconditionally.
So that was the sister of Alicia Sanchez. Sanchez, along with Marcus Antley, lost their lives while 5 others were injured over the weekend. Angelia Sanchez says that her sister was a bright light. Her family is taking comfort in knowing how much people loved her. The family wants to thank everyone for their outpouring of support. Right now, they are planning Alicia's funeral.
We got a plea deal that has been reached for the woman caught on camera hitting a puppy multiple times. Back in January, Animal Care Services confirmed that Havana Miller was seen in the video hitting her 3-month-old poodle. In February, Miller was formally indicted on a felony animal cruelty charge. Now Miller faces up to 10 years punishment and up to $10,000 fine for the 3rd-degree felony. That could include probation or jail time. She is expected to be sentenced on October the 28th. Discipline records obtained by KSAT investigators show that 2 San Antonio police officers have been suspended for using excessive force earlier this year. In late June, Officer Jordan Healer pulled a handcuffed woman from his patrol car, causing her to fall and injure her arm in late June. He also failed to report the injury to his supervisor and was suspended for 30 days. He completed that suspension on August 16th. And then in a separate case back in March, Officer Eloy Cuellar was caught on camera punching a man 6 times while making an arrest downtown. He received a 15-day suspension while he finished September the 7th. The department says that it takes these matters seriously and are reviewing the policies practices. Let's get to some of your morning headlines. We got a second person who was shot at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Dallas last week has died. The victim was identified as 32-year-old Miguel Angel Garcia Hernandez. He was being detained at the facility. His family released a statement saying that he died after being removed from life support. Well, Garcia Hernandez was one of the 3 detainees who was shot in a targeted attack against ICE. The 3rd victim is still in the hospital. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is raising some eyebrows after blasting what he called, quote, fat generals and diversity initiatives. He's telling top commanders that they should resign if they don't support his agenda to reestablish rigorous physical grooming and leadership standards, and also to make the military less politicized. The comments came at a rare gathering in Quantico where former President Donald Trump also spoke with floating the idea of using U.S. city deployments as training grounds for troops. Hegseth defended his decision to fire several high-ranking officers, including the nation's top general and the Navy's top admiral. A federal judge has denied Sean Diddy Combs' request to throw out his conviction just days before his sentencing. Court records show that the judge rejected the motion Tuesday, and prosecutors are now pushing for at least 11 years in jail. They say that Combs remains unrepentant and left victims living in fear. Combs was convicted on 2 counts of transporting people for prostitution, even after being acquitted on more serious charges. And then at least 69 people dead after a powerful earthquake shook the Philippines. The magnitude 6.9 quake hit late last night, collapsing homes, nightclubs, and businesses in the city of Bongo, a nearby towns. Now rescuers are now going house to house using backhoes and sniffer dogs, searching for survivors who may still be trapped in the rubble.
5:09 on your Wednesday morning. Good morning to everyone out there. Let's take a look at the situation right here on the northeast side of town. Already very busy over by Evans Road. This is going to be all of our northbound traffic making its way past the Forum, headed over to the Selma area. You see several emergency lights, vehicles out there, construction equipment as well. Take a look at some of the backup that we're seeing right now. We're looking at about a 15 to 20 minute backup right here, basically from Evans, Selma area all the way down to Topper Wine Roads. And let's give you one more quick update here because we mentioned Martin Street. This is going to be the downtown area where we are seeing some construction. We will give you some alternate routes as we get them, as we make our way through the rest of your morning. Let's check in with Alex right now to see how things are looking in Drive Cam as he makes his way through the south side. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Just be careful for some road debris on the southwest side. It's going to be 35 south at New Laredo Highway. It does look like SAPD is trying to take care of it, though. So I'll give you an update the next time we talk, RJ.
All right. Thank you very much. Alex Gomez in Drive Cam. Justin?
Thanks, sir. We'll go outside with live cam. It is 5:10, 67 degrees right now. And again, temperatures may fall a few more degrees before it's all said and done this morning. Coming up, we're looking at October. We finally made it here. It's usually a good month for us. Could we see a cool down in the forecast? We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, Amazon and Microsoft are turning your home and your work smarter than ever. From AI-powered Kindles and Ring cameras to Excel that build spreadsheets for you. We've got the gadgets and tech that you might actually want to try.
In a dangerous intersection in East Bexar County, getting a little safer. Up next, improvements made so far to the can opener.
Hi, we're back. It's 5:14 now, so they call it the can opener. It's a nickname given by drivers and first responders for an east side intersection known for crashes, some of which have been deadly.
Now, 3 months ago, our very own Devin Karp, he first shared this story after neighbors reached out to KSAT. And now, in this Know My Neighborhood update, he's back to see what's changed and why drivers are saying enough is enough.
Learning to get behind the wheel as a new driver can be scary enough.
I didn't see any car coming. Next thing you know, we're hit.
But Adam Rabanez says he's terrified of the area ever since he was T-boned while teaching his son to drive.
I look over and there's blood and glass all over my son's face, and I was freaking out. I was worried about him.
This is the intersection of Loop 1604 and Shoeworth Road over on the east side. A place some first responders and neighbors call the can opener.
One of the EMTs actually said something to the effect of like, hey man, like we're literally over here all the time. Like it happens often and there needs to be changes.
It's become just a nightmare for everybody.
Data from TxDOT shows there's been 148 crashes here since 2016. 10 more than when I first covered this story back in June.
Standing at the intersection 3 months later, there's some things that have stayed the same, but a lot that's changed. If you take a look at the ground, you can still see the same damage that's been left here from previous crashes. But if you look over here at Shoeworth Road, there's a detour happening right now. There's construction going on and people can no longer use the westbound lane to merge onto the loop over here. But one thing that has changed over here, the tally list left on this pole by first responders for the number of people they've had to cut out of cars has now seemingly been scrubbed.
TxDOT says it would be the responsibility of nearby developers to design and pay for a traffic light while widening lanes. And it would appear there are crews on the ground working on installing new electrical wiring, but we're still waiting on official word.
How important is it to you that it's safe?
Oh man, it's everything. I've seen more wrecks here. It's just unreal.
Even though Adam can't change the past.
My son has a little bit of PTSD because every time we're at an intersection, you kind of see him like glancing over just to make sure that nobody's coming from that direction.
He says the best he can do now is teach his son how to be safe and hope that change comes for the can opener.
I want it fixed so that, you know, somebody doesn't end up, you know, in like a worse case than we were in.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Some good reporting there from Devin over along 1604. Let's give you an update right here on 35 on the northeast side of town because, again, ongoing construction right here. Basically, all of our traffic northbound seeing some major delays at this moment. About a 15-20 minute delay right now if you're headed up towards parts of Selma and Evans Road. This is going to be for all of our folks making their way past Live Oak, the Pat Booker area, and you see the backup all the way here to parts of Topper Wine Road. Again, this is our traffic that is going northbound on 35, not affecting our southbound traffic at the moment. Let's take a look at 16 1604, this is going to be Stone Oak Parkway. There are reports of an incident. I believe that's going to be on the westbound ramp before you get onto the main lanes of 1604 over here by Stone Oak Parkway and Blanco Road. So you should be good to go if you are going to be in that one particular spot. All right, we're following the very latest right here. This is going to be 35 southbound traffic right here at Martin. You see that we have done that official switch over, so we are going to see alternating lane closures right here, basically at Flores Street, Martin Streets. So we are going to see some little bit of activity, especially as we get closer to our more active rush hour period. So let's check in with Alex Gomez right now and see how things are looking in drive cam for us. At last check, he was on the south side. Alex, how are things looking?
Yeah, well, the southwest side is looking clear again. RJ, that debris has been cleared by SAPD, so both lanes at 35 southbound near New Laredo Highway are back open, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Alex Gomez. Now to go to Justin with check of the weather. Weather? Not yet.
Well, not quite yet. We're almost here. October typically brings us some cooler weather. At least that's what we would hope for. Let's look at the October climatology here. So we start the month with an average high of 87. The average low is 65. By the end of the month, look at this. The average high is 77. The average low is 55. So it in theory, gets better by the end of the month. It's also one of our wetter months. 3.75 inches of rain is what we average when it comes to the month of October. And if you look at average rainfall per month, it's usually our third wettest month because we start getting some fronts, we get showers and storms. Unfortunately, it's just not in the forecast for now. My hope is that by the time we get into the end of the month, things will start to switch up a little bit. I did want to look forward in time. Now, over the next 7 days, we certainly don't have any rain in the forecast. But October 7th through 11th, this is the precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and it does show slightly above average rainfall, so we shall see as we get into the middle of the month if things start to change a little bit. Now, temperature-wise, it is not looking good. We are indicating above average temperatures, at least for the first half of the month, and the 7-day forecast also indicates some pretty warm readings going forward. It feels good this morning, though. 67 at the airport, 64 at Lotus, 59 right now in Bernie, 58 in Comfort, 55 in Kerrville, and 63 right now at Tarpley. High temperatures today will be back in the mid-90s, probably 93, 94 here in San Antonio, 95 in Converse, 95 Stinson, 95 down in Pleasanton. So these are pretty hot readings for early October. And let me show you the big picture here. And there is nothing, and I mean nothing, going on here across the state of Texas. And the pattern is such that we just continue to see a pretty quiet pattern going forward. All the action is way up to our north, and so that just keeps us rather quiet, really, through the entire 7-day forecast. So 94 tomorrow, 93 Friday, 92 Saturday, 92 Sunday. There is just a very, very small chance of rain on Monday as a little low develops in the Gulf, but it probably stays east of us. So there you go. October not showing signs of being October-y just yet. All right, let's go to our Just Ask Justin question. And this is a this day in history question. So on this day, Henry Ford released the Model T to the American public. What year was that? October 1st of what year did the Model T come out? And this, of course, was a big deal because it was the first car available to, the general public. So was it 1903, 1908, 1912, or 1920? Go to KSAT.com/poll, scan the QR code, and give us your guess.
All right, all my car enthusiasts.
Yeah, I need to find a gearhead, or what are they called? The people who love cars. Okay, my father-in-law's awake right now. It's 5:21, 67 degrees outside.
Okay, so imagine telling SL a word what to do, and it does it. Up next, how Microsoft's new agent mode does just that, plus how you can now star in your own AI-generated video.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon unveiling a new generation of products, most with AI-powered Alexa Plus. There are 2 new Echo speakers and displays, upgraded Kindle scribes using one with a color screen, a line of Fire TVs, a 4K Ring camera, and a Blink camera with a 180-degree view. Next, Microsoft wants to make its Office apps easier to use, so it's launching a new agent mode in Excel and Word. It can generate complex spreadsheets and documents with just a prompt. Microsoft says it's all meant to make complex parts of Excel more accessible to those who are not experts. Finally, the new Sora app is meant to be OpenAI's TikTok competitor. It lets users create and share AI-generated videos in a TikTok-style feed. So to put yourself in a generated video, users have to upload video recordings to verify their identity and then have their appearance captured. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Perry Russum. Have a great day.
For a second, some of that stuff looked real. I was like, where did that cat go?
It's a little crazy right now. This is definitely real. Later on this month, we hope you join us on Saturday, October the 11th at the Rock at La Cantera for Light the Night.
You got hundreds of lanterns will illuminate the sky. Celebrate, honor, and remember the people impacted by blood cancer. And I'm Daniela Ibarra, emceeing the event. We have more info at KSATcommunity.com.
Okay, 525, 67 degrees outside.
We got the searches on for the three men who San Antonio police say stole money from a bank. What they're saying about the getaway vehicle next.
And ahead on GMSA at 6 a.m. from sleepless nights to missed school days. One San Antonio mother says a simple change helped her daughter finally breathe easier. A free program giving a lot of families hope ahead.
Welcome back. Coming up on 5:30 right now on the first day of October. Got the orange.
Man, I noticed that. You're looking very fallish.
Yes. Hey, it's not feeling that way though.
Not yet.
I'm ready for the cold temperature. Well, not cold, but just enough.
I'm not wearing orange until it gets below 60 degrees. I don't know.
That's a fun fact.
Protest.
That's good.
Yeah, and it may take you a while to get your orange out of your closet because it's just trending warm right now, and we don't see any cold fronts, at least in the near future. I would say towards the middle part of the month there are some hints that maybe we'll get a front or two, but nothing right now. It does feel pretty comfortable for the moment. 67 degrees at the airport, 65 in New Braunfels, 66 in Converse, and 50s again there in Bernie. And these numbers will all probably fall a few more degrees before it's all said and done. So let's get you out to the bus stop this morning. Yes, we start off in the 60s, but we'll end up in the 90s, 93 at 3 o'clock. So another warm afternoon. No need for a jacket or anything like that. Sunrise this morning will be at 7:27. Sunset at 7:19 for a total of 11 hours and 52 minutes of daylight. Japhanie?
This morning, the search is on for the three men who San Antonio police say stole money from a bank. It happened at a Bank of America off of 281 near Evans Road, and this is on the north side of town. That's where SAPD says that someone pushed an employee who was working on an ATM. We're told three people inside of the 2011 white BMW sped away from the scene. If you know anything that could help lead to an arrest, you're urged to call police.
All right, so this morning we are learning that surveillance video actually helped investigators track down the suspected Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino shooter. That is according to a justice of the peace in Maverick County. KSAT also obtained documents that say the suspect is accused of killing 2 people and shooting 5 others last Saturday night. The records say the shooting happened near an entrance to the casino.
The first picture that I saw was like he was inside. And then what I heard was that he went out, went to the truck, got out his weapon and started shooting people just at random.
Investigators say they still do not have a motive for the shooting, and because of an error on some of the paperwork, the Justice of the Peace says the suspect, Carrie Ann Jones, will have to be re-magistrated. Jones is being held at the Maverick County Jail on a $4.5 million bond. All right, so this morning we have just about 30 days or plus, give or take, actually 35 days or more until the election. Math is not my thing. Now people across Bexar County are trying to figure out where they stand on the plan to build a downtown sports and entertainment district, including, of course, a brand new Spurs arena.
So that is what leaders plan to discuss at a community meeting over next month. Now, last night, the Hot Wells Mission Reach Neighborhood Association and the Mission San Jose Neighborhood Association teamed up to have their own meeting about Project Marvel, and about 50 people showed up.
Now, KSAT wants to make sure that voters understand what's on the Bexar County ballot, so here is a little bit of that. They'll decide whether to raise the county hotel and venue tax to fund a new Spurs arena and improvements to county facilities. The hotel tax would go from 1.75% to 2%, while the 5% short-term rental tax would stay the same. So Proposition A would use venue tax money, about $192 million, to upgrade existing facilities like the Freeman Coliseum, the Frost Bank Center, and the Stock Show and Rodeo Grounds. Prop B would use around $311 million from the tax to help fund the new downtown Spurs Arena. So later today, Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai is hosting a public forum on the Coliseum Complex venue project, and we are planning to be there. And if you would like to attend, this will be happening at the Freeman Coliseum this evening from 6 to 8 p.m.
All right, the spotlight is now on a controversial development in northwest Bexar County, and it's called the Wahalote Ranch. It would add 3,000 new homes in Helotes area, and it will also require building and wastewater treatment plant. Critics think that could pollute drinking water for 2.5 million people, so they want local leaders to stop the project. And now 2 of them went to the site and spoke with concerned residents.
Right now, me and my team have been working on getting the facts straight, working with this alliance, working with the city, and working with the developer to figure out what are the truths here. Because if it impacts our water, then yeah, I'm going to be concerned about it.
Now, it's important to know the developer, who is Lennar, they say that they have plans in place to prevent pollution of the Edwards Aquifer and San Antonio's drinking water. For now, it's up to the Texas Commission on the Environmental Quality. Soon, it's expected to decide whether to allow the developer to build the wastewater treatment plant. 5:33 right now. It was ravaged in July 4th floods, and now we're learning a well-known restaurant in Kerrville is closing its doors. The July 4th floods took a toll on Kerrville's 1011 Bistro, and now the restaurant is closing for good. For 13 years, it was a popular spot along the Guadalupe River for locals and visitors alike. And owner Thomas Valdez says that despite receiving a grant from Lift Fund after the floods, restoring the business was too costly. Lift Fund says it has helped about 300 Hill Country businesses and workers and is still accepting applications for loans and grants at liftfund.com.
All right, back to your morning headlines here. A South Carolina deputy was suspended without pay after a video showed him drawing a gun on a group of teenagers on Hilton Head Island. Now, it's not clear how this started, but the deputy can be seen approaching with his gun drawn. The deputy then took a bag from one of the boys, and a scuffle ensued right here. The deputy's name has not yet been released, but local officials are investigating to determine if criminal charges are warranted. And refugees, people in the U.S. under asylum, and immigrants who were brought to the United States as children, grew up in the country, and were granted temporary protection from deportation, will no longer be able to get or renew their commercial driver's licenses. That's the word from the Texas Department of Public Safety. So it says that this is about keeping the roads safe. Now, to be clear, CDLs are used to drive vehicles for business purposes like buses or trucks carrying products. Last week, President Trump issued a policy to, quote, drastically restrict non-citizens from getting CDLs and threatened to withhold funding from states that do not comply. So the president announced a plan aimed at lowering drug prices in the United States. That includes creating a new website where people can find discounted medicines and a deal with the drug manufacturing giant Pfizer to lower many drug costs. Pfizer says it will also expand manufacturing in the U.S. and sell some of its specialty brand drugs at 50% off.
All right, things starting to get a little bit busy on the roads right now. We're going to start out on the northeast side. And good morning to all of our folks joining us right now, 5:36 in the morning. Let's take a look at the situation here, because now I'm seeing delays of about 45 minutes for all of our drivers that are going to make their way up Top Irvine, past Live Oak, all the way up to Evans Road. So we're looking at the significant backup past Retama Parkway and also past the Forum. So some suggestions here. Maybe you want to take O'Connor Road. That's going to be the exit right before Top Irvine. That'll get you up to Top Irvine. Or if you're on the other side, maybe Lookout Road is a potential option. Right now, Lookout Road appears to be moving along, but we do have some major construction activity there. Same situation closer to 410 and 35. This is going to be our southbound traffic over by Thousand Oaks, but it looks like traffic for the most part is moving along on that part. That's going to be the inner parts of the northeast side of town. And we've been talking about this for the past couple of days or so. This is going to be our newest closure right here, 35 South, I-10, also coming into the downtown area over by Martin Street and Flores Street. And that's actually where we are going to find Alex Gomez in Drive Cam right now to give us an update on how things are looking out there. Alex, we were there yesterday and we saw some pretty good backups for all of our drivers downtown.
Yeah, lots of slowing yesterday. And right now I'm keeping an eye on that same area over here. This is going to be the lower level of I-35 southbound right at San Pedro. You can see the right lane is blocked right here. And then the neighboring highway, I-10 eastbound coming down, the left lane is blocked on that side. And this is scheduled to be like this all October long, RJ.
Yes, so not to make a joke, but scary Halloween month that we're going to see this construction downtown. Justin, how are we looking out there? Don't give me that look.
It's not bad. It's not bad. 537, 67 degrees, feeling very comfortable this morning as we look outside. We've got clear skies here in San Antonio. It is going to be warm today, but not just for us. A large portion of the country above average. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
Federal funding for NPR, PBS, and the other public media has officially run out. What does that mean for local stations, and could some be forced to shut down?
And Google's self-driving car just got pulled over for an illegal U-turn, but this was very different. We'll be back.
And so far, traffic has actually been pretty decent this morning, but I'm still making my rounds around the city, and I'll give you more traffic updates coming up on GMS.
544 now, consumer headlines for you. Cuts to NPR, PBS, and other public media outlets have been in the news all year long, but now federal funds have actually run out. And now that we're at the end of the federal government's fiscal year, not to mention the government shutdown, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is saying farewell to staffers and winding down its operations. Local PBS and NPR affiliates have laid off staffers, limited travel, and cut parts to their operations, I should say, to cope with budget shortfalls. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting's CEO says many stations will ultimately go under without the federal support.
DoorDash trying out robots to make its deliveries. Meet Dot. Oh, he's so cute. He is basically autonomous and electric, all about 1/10 of the size of a car, and can reach speeds up to 20 miles per hour. So it can use bike lanes, sidewalks, and roads to deliver orders in a timely manner. Dot will start delivering in the Phoenix, Arizona area first, with hopes to expand to more cities in the future. So you know those extra fees you get if you DoorDash? I know Justin doesn't do this, but I do it. I take the risk. I will spend all day, every day, $20 on like a little bitty bag of chips. But Dot, with Dot coming in the bag, I guarantee you there's going to be some type of price added to that if you go with the Dot way.
You think you have traffic issues now? Can you imagine doing the traffic and be, let's check the roads. Oh, there's a Dot going on.
R2-D2 looking thing just, next to you. Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay, so October happens to be a very kind of serious month, too.
It does, yeah, guys. So obviously we are in the first day of October. Today is the start of National Pedestrian Safety Month, and this is also going to be the deadliest month of the year for pedestrians in our state due to fewer daylight hours and lower visibility, which is going to make it harder for drivers to see pedestrians and keep them safe. So last October, 89 pedestrians died and another 143 seriously injured across the state of Texas due to traffic crashes. So TxDOT now launching its new statewide Be Safe, Drive Smart safety campaign today to encourage drivers and pedestrians to look out for each other. And at the center of the campaign is this young lady right there. This was U.S. Air Force Major Brenna Cole Pickrell. She was 31 years old. She was a security expert at JBSA Lackland who was jogging with her dog. You see her dog Daisy right there last fall when she unfortunately was struck by a driver while using a crosswalk. She died and her dad spoke to TxDOT officials on her behalf.
Brenna's death was not an accident. It is a result of actions that were taken or not taken by another driver. No one wants to live through that. The families, the driver that hit her, no one wants to live through that pain. My wife and I wake up every morning and go to bed every night feeling an extreme sense of loss with the passing of our daughter.
Yes, some obviously painful moments there. Now, Brenna died from her injuries a year ago tomorrow, leaving behind her fiance, her parents, and as you see there, their dog, Daisy. So again, just be careful if you're stepping out on the roads, not only with pedestrians, but also we got the cyclists and obviously the kiddos that are making their way to and from school. Let's come back out now to our maps and see what exactly is going on here across the city of San Antonio. And the biggest issue is going to be right here. This is going to be 35 North Evans Road, backed up all the way to Topper Wine Road. Mentioned earlier, you could take O'Connor, could take Lookout Road. Those are some potential options to get you around. If you try and make it up to Pat Booker Roads, that's also going to be very busy for several of our drivers. We are looking at about a 45-minute delay just to make it out of that one stretch. Now, 410, still seeing a lot of construction activity. You see the barrels right there. That's going to be 410 East right here at Broadway. Traffic backing up over to the McAllister Freeway, which is Highway 281, and a little bit of backup there to parts of McCullough. So if you're headed out of the airport, keep that one in mind. Inbound drive times, no major issues there, but you're going to see 73 minutes right now going out from the metro part of San Antonio to New Braunfels. So it's going to be a long ways to go for our drivers there as they work on all that activity there. 35 on the northeast side. Let's go to Alex and see where things are looking in drive cam for us today. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. By far, that is the biggest slowdown that I've been seeing as well. Right now, I'm a little bit more northeast. I'm near Walzem, 35 northbound, and I took 35 north from the downtown area, and so far the east side seems to be pretty clear, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I was thinking we were doing that AI stuff. Flying cars would be great if you're about to go to the northeast side. Justin, would you get one of those? Little Dr. Emmett Brown back in the future?
1.21. I think so.
Yeah.
It's a nice reference. Okay, let's take you to Bastrop yesterday. Look at this. This is a dust devil caught on camera, and we've seen quite a few of these as of late. I think it's kind of indicative of the dry conditions we've been seeing, but that's I think they're always cool to see. A lot of local effects playing into it, and being from West Texas, this feels like home here. But yeah, crosses the road. It can look kind of menacing, but they typically don't do any damage or anything like that. All right, so we've got to talk about an earthquake here this morning too. It happened last night actually out in the Philippines, 6.9. This was a pretty major earthquake, and it did cause quite a bit of damage there in the central islands of the Philippines. A lot of pickup and a lot of damage, unfortunately. So that is, again, that was reported last night. Well out to our west. All right, Humberto and Imelda, both Category 1 hurricanes here in the Atlantic, so we're switching oceans here. Winds are at 80 miles per hour for Humberto, Imelda 90 mile per hour winds. So Humberto is weakening at a pretty fast rate here. It's moving northeast at 14. These storms are now going to get picked up and pushed off to the north and east and really become non-players here, other than Bermuda is going to take a hit from Imelda. As far as Humberto, it actually just kind of gets absorbed into a front, and then Imelda gets pulled off to the north and likely will eventually weaken as it moves into cooler water. So thankfully, neither one of those storms had huge impacts on the east coast of the United States. Outside right now, 67 in San Antonio, 65 New Braunfels, 66 in Converse, 57 in Bernie. Temperatures are comfortable for now. But we'll see those numbers jump up pretty rapidly today. 74 at 9 a.m., 84 at 11 o'clock, noontime 87, and then eventually up to 94 for a high with sunny or mostly sunny skies during the afternoon hours. So these numbers, if you were wondering, are well above average for early October, but we continue to see some really, really hot numbers. And it's not just us. We're going to see above average temperatures for a large portion of the country. Going forward, even into next week, it's going to stay that way, and it's I will say kind of an unusual pattern, but it just is what it is, and we'll see those numbers stay in the 90s for us. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly cloudy, highs in the low 90s. There is a very, very small chance of rain on Monday. We have a little low that will develop in the Gulf that could throw a shower in our direction, and I literally mean a shower. So that's about all we can give you there in the extended forecast. All right, Just Ask Justin this morning. A little bit of history for you. On this day, Henry Ford released his Model T to the American public. It was a big deal because it was the first car that was kind of readily available to the everyday man. What year was it? 1903, 1908, 1912, or 1920? You can vote right now. 1908 is leading the way. Go to ksat.com/poll, scan the QR code, and give us your guess.
All right, 5:52 right now, 67 degrees outside.
So imagine getting pulled over, but there's no driver to ticket. That's exactly what happened when a Google Waymo self-driving car made an illegal U-turn. So how did police handle this, and what changes are coming next year, coming up? All right, we're back 5:55 now. Google may not be able to get you out of a traffic ticket, but it can get itself out of one, apparently. Police in Bruno, California, pulled over a Waymo autonomous vehicle for making an illegal U-turn. So the car knew enough to pull over and connect police to an employee using its communication system.
But the police had no way of citing anyone since there was technically no driver. The San Bruno police wrote on social media that they hope the stop will result in a programming for vehicles. The Waymo is a subsidiary of Google's parent company, Alphabet. And starting next July, police in California will be able to cite autonomous vehicle companies for such violations. I was going to say, just go for the company. It'd be like, hey.
Yeah, they will. And apparently there was no passenger either. The car was completely empty.
So it was just tripping by itself.
Can you imagine the officer walk up? Excuse me, sir, ma'am, insurance, license?
Ooh, Halloween.
Yeah, okay, very good. All right, more to come in the next hour of GMSA.
Even just a simple gesture, hi, a wave, a smile can make a difference. And I do this to help people out.
Yard work with a purpose, mowing lawns for neighbors who once served our country, and more. Why one San Antonio woman's simple act of kindness is saving veterans more than just money.
Oh, and a mystery machine sighting as well. And every parent's worst fear, your child struggling to breathe. Can you imagine that? This morning, we're going to show you how a free program in San Antonio is helping kids keep them out of the ER and back in the classroom.
And photojournalist Alex Gomez looks like he's stuck in some traffic this morning, and you may be right next to him. We're going to check in with him to see what your commute is looking like coming up at 6.